So the first question I've got is, how do you string a tennis racket? So I've got my string machine right here. I've got my racket here. I'm going to show you how to mount it, and we're going to go from there. So let me show you the string machine first. This is your basic Gamma 6-point mounting string machine with two fixed clamps. These are fixed clamps here. This here is a flying clamp that I will be using to start the string job with. It's a lockout machine. It's not electric, so I've got to use a crank there, and the tension is already set at 57 pounds. So here is the dial for pounds, the gauge and the dial to move this white mark to the correct tension. So the first thing I have to do is mount the tennis racket. I've already cut the strings out of the racket, and before I mount it, I want to just check to make sure there's no cracks or anything that may cause an issue during the installation of the string. Everything looks to be okay here. So I'm just going to put this in here. One thing that helps is if you count the number of holes in the throat of the racket. This one has 4, which means that the midpoint of the string is going to be at the top of the racket. So get that in there snug, because I don't want any warping of the frame during installation of the string. I like to do 2-piece for some of these frames. 2-piece means you're going to cut the string in half, or about half, and then use the longer side for the mains. Cut a little edge on that so it goes through a little easier. Some problems with that one too, so I'm going to just cut another edge. When I cut it, it's going to be at an angle to make it nice and sharp looking. There we go. I'm going to take the 2 ends, line them up, and then pull so the halfway point of the string is here at the top. Now from here, I'm going to take both strings, pull it, the lockout. See what that looks like here. It's a little lockout. So you kick it back and then it releases. So this is where I'm going to use that flying clamp. Put that in to hold the tension and release. And now I'm going to tension 2 on each side. Go 1. And do the other side. I'll start pulling it through the holes. notice I've left slack at the top. So I'm going to pull, tighten, take off the flying clamp because there's tension on this string now from both sides. Attach the clamp and then release. Same thing on the bottom. Pull, tension, and then clamp. You're going to want to pull one at a time to create consistency throughout the racket. Do the other side. One. Now when you're dealing with the throw, it's important to go underneath the frame here and not over the top. The other side, just one, and then two. The other side, one, and two. Sometimes that gets in the way, but I've probably hit that 1,000 times in my life, if not more. Just one. And then two. Now with different patterns of stringing on each racket. Some rackets are 16-19, some are 18-20. Now even you have rackets that are 16-14, which is a really open pattern. Which means the first number is the main, the second number is the crosses. Mains are the ones that go up and down. Crosses are of course the ones that go across. Tighten up there. So the next thing that's going to happen is, if you notice that if I tension this and tie this off, it's going to block the hole that's right there. So what I'm going to do is take the cross string and go ahead and weave the cross string through the open hole to avoid any blockages, and leave that out. Now I'll go ahead and tighten the last one on the end. And then do my tie-off knot. And we'll pull tension around, under, and through. Pull taut, and then snip the end. I like to make sure I get the snip as close as I can to the frame, because I've ruined so many shirts of my own by the end of the string snagging on the microfiber. A little tug, and then one more. And snip that off close. Now the mains have been installed. Now, if you notice that right here, this grommet is a little bit bigger than some of the other ones. That's going to be a tie-off where you insert the cross string through and you tie off the knot. So I'm going to insert this through. I'm going to go under, through, and under, and through. Pull it to the frame, and then under and through. Pull it taut, and then I'm going to go ahead and weave the next row. And it's important that you alternate the overs and unders so it makes a nice braided . So now I'm going to pull the first one. I'm going to pull a little bit to create a little bit more tension on that knot. I'm going to come back, pull it again, and now I've got a tight starting knot. I'm going to tension that there. Let it go. I'm going to do this, making sure that I'm going to weave one ahead, because the one that is tight is going to be the one that I'm weaving through, which makes the process go through a little bit easier. If you saw how quick my hands through went there. I'm going to pull taut, wait for the kick out to kick, clamp, let it go. Same thing here. Weave it through. Kick out and clamp. I'm going to do this for all of the mains, or all the crosses or so. I'm going to go ahead and snip that there, get that out of the way. weave through, grommet, tension, and clamp. Now, the reason why I push the cross string up here is to avoid any friction. And friction is the reason why strings break, is because when the strings rub across on each other, they create notches. And eventually the notches get so big, the string breaks. Players that hit a lot of topspin that have faster swings, which create a lot more string movement, tend to break more than players that do not. Go ahead and having problems getting that through, so go ahead and cut a point. Go through. So string ahead helps with the time. I don't like to spend a lot of time stringing a racket. The more rackets I can get in, the quicker I can get them done. And the more I can either teach or do something else. This racket's a little more difficult because the grommets don't stick out of the frame. Pull it through. About halfway through, I will check and look to make sure that all the strings are in that weaved fashion there, that there's not a skipped main. It's important that you check periodically throughout the stringing just to have a quality about it. Last thing you want to do is misstring, misweave, tie it off, give it to your customer, and have them bring it back and saying, hey, you messed up my racket, give me a freaking string job. Next thing you know, you're out the price of your string and you're out your time for you to go ahead and string it. And some players can be very particular about how their rackets are strung. So the more consistently you can do things, the overall quality will be higher. So right here, ran into a problem because the grommet is on the other side. So I want to be sure that this string goes through right here, and then in, and then continue the weave. As we're getting closer to the end, some challenges may come up as far as blocked holes. One thing that helps is creating that edge of the string to be point like an awl, and allows it to slide right through. Alright, so I'm done weaving. I've got one to tighten there. One to tighten there. And then find the large opening for the string to come through, under, through, pull taut, maybe give a little pull from the string machine. That thing has a good grip on the string. Under and through, pull taut, snip, and you're done. Release the clamps. Loosen there, loosen there, and you're done. And now you have your finished product with a strung tennis racket. Thank you for joining me, and have a good day.